The residents and businesses in Sludge City have totally destroyed their town by polluting it. And the Camp Invention participants have been asked by the town's children to fix the pollution problem and rebuild Sludge City. Welcome to a week of Pollution Solutions. Your classes will spend the week demonstrating ways to clean up different types of pollution and also rebuild Sludge City so that it's environmentally friendly. To set the immersion on day one, hang pictures of different types of pollution on the walls, such as smokestacks, rivers filled with barrels of gunk, and overflowing landfills. In one of our testing camps, the teacher sectioned off an area on the floor with caution tape and filled it with boxes representing city buildings. Pictures of pollution were taped to the boxes, and assorted items from the recycle room were scattered around the area. It worked really well. Then lead children through a mind mapping process to discuss pollution and get campers thinking about building an eco-friendly city. During Activity 2 on Day 1, camper teams create 2 examples of landfills. For the first example, teams built a landfill that allows pollutants to leach into the groundwater. For the second example, teams use plastic bags and clay barriers to keep the pollution out of the water. On Day 2, children participate in a story about how Lake Lucky in Sludge City became polluted, and they create a sample of the lake's polluted water.
Oh no! Our river!
Teams then create filters to clean the polluted water sample. When doing the filter activity, keep these tips in mind. The coffee filter used for the water filter can either be placed inside the funnel or attached to the outside at the small end by using a rubber band.
Okay, let's put that in first. And then we can rub this on top.
If teams start their water filters by dumping sand into their funnels, make sure they use a coffee filter or other material to block so that the sand doesn't just run out. Get your teams to think of this on their own by asking the question, how are you going to keep the sand from running out of the bottom of the funnel?
Sand's coming through.
You know what's going to happen?
Yes.
The sand's going to come through. Alright, well dump it back in here, and you guys got to think of a way to get it to work.
For your information, putting the sand at the bottom of the funnel will cause the polluted water to run more slowly through the filter. This isn't a bad thing, for sand is actually the best material for getting smaller pollutants out of dirty water. Just be aware of this so that if campers ask you to explain why the water is running so slowly, you have the answer.
A little bit more.
Pea gravel works well for both the filtering and landfill activities on Day 1. It is available at gardening or home supply stores. You may need to rinse the gravel as it is often pretty grimy. On Day 3, camper teams begin creating the all-new Sludge City with boxes and items from the recycle room. If your classroom is not large enough to house all of the Sludge Cities being built, place these cities in the area being used for the Inventors Showcase on the last day. In Day 3's Plan Ahead section found inside the curriculum, there's a diagram that shows how to divide Sludge City into teams. Make sure that each classroom has only 4 teams. Teams use a lot of boxes and other recyclables as they build their sections of Sludge City. Starting on Day 1, visit the recycle room daily to collect items that the teams might want to use as they build.
That's a good idea.
How are you going to use it?
When brainstorming the types of buildings to place in Sludge City, it may be helpful to categorize building types, especially for primary children. Categories might include government buildings such as police, town hall, or fire stations, shops such as discount stores, grocery stores, or malls, parks and playgrounds, and any other building types you can think of.
I need a
Like the fabled phoenix, Sludge City rises from its own ashes. Children are pretty savvy about pollution and will respond to the pollution problems they encounter very creatively.